Alright, I had tried to record a video a few minutes ago, and Mary actually called while I was in the middle of recording, and for some reason it kicked me out, so I'm just going to re-record it. I'm stuck in traffic right now, and it's the second day that it's been shitty weather on the way in, so what happens is, you know, if we don't have enough time between storms up here in the Northeast, then things don't really melt off and clear off on the roads, so the roads weren't really that clear last night, and then it rained, and then it froze, and then it snowed again, so hence the nasty traffic this morning, but it is what it is, and there's nothing we can do about it, so there's no sense in getting wound up. So I had an appointment in Concord this morning that I actually called ahead and canceled. I didn't want to leave the house earlier than I needed to because I'm really trying to shift back to that morning routine for running. Especially with the intermittent fasting and the fact that I'm trying to not eat anything or take in any calories before noon and then nothing after 8 p.m. What's happening is at night I'm coming home and I'm running, but I've already started to take in calories for the day. So I'm not burning fat as efficiently as I would if I were doing it during that IF period. So that's one thing that I want to really try to get nailed back down and try to get back into the habit of doing is that, you know, AM workout. The second thing is my heart rate has been elevated for the last 2 days. I took a look at my data last night and I've moved to 12-minute run sections. I'm doing a 5-minute walk to warm up. I'm doing a 12-minute run, and then I'm doing that last 2 or 3 minutes to get to 20 minutes for time on the treadmill. So with the last 2 days, my heart rate has crept up into zone 4, and I'm really trying to focus not as much on the distance or the speed or anything like that, but just really trying to keep it in that target heart rate zone. So the way that I've calculated it is basically 220 minus my age, which gets me to, let's just use round numbers, that gets me to 180 because I'm around 40. And then 80% of that number is really where I'm trying to stay in terms of my ceiling on my target heart rate. So I'm trying to keep it below that, but elevated as close to that as I can get, which on my Garmin equates to zone 3. And I don't have an alarm set up on the Garmin. I don't really keep an eye on the heart rate too much while I'm running at this point. I just kind of look at it after the fact and then make adjustments. So I was doing 10 minutes before. I was doing okay in terms of where my heart rate was. So I went ahead and bumped it up, and I noticed that because my last 2 days were elevated, I wanted to try to get it back down. So for this morning, I went back down to 10 minutes for the run chunk. And I'll see what that does. I don't have my Garmin on me, so I can't sync it and look at my data right now. I'll look at it tonight, and then I'll sort of adjust for tomorrow. It might take a few days to sort of normalize my heart rate if I'm, if I'm shifting that run to the mornings. But I really want to try to make that a consistent thing. Plus, it's just creating a lot of stress because at the end of the day, I have to come home and I still have a run in front of me, and then I've got all the other stuff that I'm trying to do at night. So it makes a lot more sense to make better use of the time during the day and get that run taken care of than it does to, wait until the evening and then try to fit it in with everything else that's going on. So that's the plan at this point. Again, with the intermittent fasting, it's going fairly well. I had a pretty tough time last night, and we get into the habit of these specific routines and the way those routines work. Well, our routine at night has been, let's sit and watch a couple episodes of The Big Bang Theory. That's currently what we're binge watching. So I do that. I sit, I watch television. Well, I'm associating that with snacking. Sort of like when I drove and I did a lot of work with my uncle's pool company in Arizona. I was smoking a lot. So anytime I was in the car, I was sort of associating that with smoking, and I was able to kick that habit. So it worked out fairly well. But at this point, I'm trying to create more awareness around those negative associations. So last night, I'm sitting there watching television. I'm feeling snacky. It's after 8 o'clock. That's becoming a non-negotiable for me, or it has become a non-negotiable. No snacking after 8 o'clock, so I was very aware of it. It wasn't easy to make that decision, but I did. And you know, I'm better off for it, because now I'm trying to move towards those habits. So that's where things stand. It's day 8 now. Is it 8? No, it's day 9, I think. And so, you know, we'll just kind of stay the course and see where the run ends up, and hopefully try to increase the speed. My weight's staying the same, so really it's more about the routine, and it's more about trying to create consistency. So that's what it's about at this point, consistency, and then we'll go from there. So that's it.